I'm the Gentleman Wake, and in this episode, we take a look at something a little bit different. The world's finest gaming terrain, and that's no hyperbole. Remember, for the best in cinematic reviews, like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. If you're here for cards, don't click away. You may be on the precipice of discovering something really cool. Of course, games like Dungeons & Dragons have been around since the 1970s, and their influence has permeated into all forms of media.
Tonight we begin with a story about make-believe adventure and real-life violence in a game called Dungeons & Dragons.
But D&D has recently experienced a renaissance within the mainstream media, showing up on popular shows like Community, Stranger Things, to name two. Plus, the successes of live D&D streams on platforms like Twitch and YouTube, particularly Critical Role, have made the game even more popular than ever before. With the newfound resurgence in Dungeons & Dragons comes a renewed interest in accessories and other useful products designed to improve the RPG experience. We've seen beautiful dice collections and gaming tables, notebooks, compendiums, miniatures, and terrain used to give the game a more tactical and tactile feel. To that end, about a year and a half ago, I discovered Dwarven Forge, a relatively small company started by sculptor Stefan Picorni in the mid-90s. But it wasn't until the inception of the Kickstarter business model, one that we talk a lot about here on this channel, that the company really took off. They've created highly durable and completely modular terrain to give players and dungeon masters everywhere a chance to create the dungeons of their dreams. I mean, you can create cave systems, lava fissures, medieval cities, and castles. In fact, if you've paid attention, you might have seen some of the dungeon terrain tiles sneak into some of my videos. Now, 8 Kickstarter campaigns later and more than $19 million in crowdfunding, Dwarven Forge recently concluded the new campaign called Wildlands just a few months ago. Wildlands features an amazing collection of outdoor wilderness-themed gaming terrain, perfect for capturing the feel of that mysterious mountain, dark forest, and sinister swamp. It's the first Kickstarter campaign created by Dwarven Forge, specifically designed to conquer nature, but it's not the first time they've tackled the great and terrifying outdoors. In fact, the Wildlands campaign is meant to expand upon the success of a single wilderness set released last year, the subject of this review, the Dreadhollow Forest. To put it simply, this set is amazing, and even if you don't play tabletop games, these tiles will awaken your imagination. It's immensely satisfying to slot pieces together and create organic forms. It's kind of like Lego for grown-ups, and it's also very expensive. Included in the Dreadhollow Forest is a collection of terrain packs designed to complement each other and provide everything you'll need to not only recreate the encounter as designed, but also create your own amazing adventures to excite and torture your players with. Included with the set are a heavy forest pack, a light forest pack, 2 small tree packs, 2 large tree packs, 2 escarpment packs, a cave mouth pack, a scattered terrain pack, a bramble pack, a stilt pack, and an adventure pack of specifically designed set pieces. The heavy forest pack includes 2 heavy forest tiles measuring 6 by 6 inches and featuring 3 stumps, 2 for small trees and 1 for a large one. The sculpt on the hefty piece is simply fantastic, featuring gorgeous plant life and convincing rocks and roots. Designed like all of the floor tiles in this set with a hidden organic 1 by 1 inch grid, optimized for tactical combat with miniatures. Dwarven Forge's original terrain tile offerings back in the day were cast in heavy but brittle resin. For years now, they switched over to a newer, still hefty, and far more durable proprietary PVC material that's really virtually indestructible. They've branded it Dwarvenite. It's smooth and kind of matte to the touch, flexible yet sufficiently rigid, and lately all of them feature magnets embedded within, which allows them to attach securely to cloth-lined metal terrain trays, also made by Dwarven Forge. The trays are a great way of flying terrain on and off the table. Also included in the Heavy Forest pack is a single light forest terrain tile with 2 stumps, one heavy, one light. The Light Forest pack includes 2 more of the same Light Forest tiles, and 3 3x6 forest clearing tiles, and 2 3x3 clearing tiles. All of the forest floor tiles, save the 3x3 small ones, include subtle dirt paths and trails that can be linked together to create interesting paths through the forest floor. The tree packs include several trunk sections and leaves, midsections, and toppers, enough to create 4 3-tiered large trees and 8 smaller trees of varying heights. Additionally, some of the stump toppers included are designed to look like overgrown and mossy hollow tree bark sections. The 2 escarpment packs include enough hefty dwarvenite pieces to create some interesting cliff terrain, 4 6x3 straight pieces, all of which include tree stumps designed to take small trees. There are 2 convex end caps and 2 concave pieces, all of which have a 3x3 footprint. They are designed to work seamlessly with the cave mouth escarpment pack, which features a large 6x6 footprint namesake piece with a large mushroom-laden tree trunk stump. Also included a unique gnarled large tree topper. The cave mouth can be topped with the included rocky scatter terrain piece that has space for an additional small tree as well. The scatter pack includes another rocky scatter terrain piece as well as a large tree stump lump and a small tree stump lump. All of these scatter pieces can be used to dress vacant terrain, escarpments, or placed directly on a gaming mat or terrain tray. Also included is a Bramble Pack, which includes a couple of thorny bramble patches designed to work as difficult terrain for players. They can be combined, however, to form a single larger patch. Also in the pack are 8 bramble walls, thorny hedges that are great for creating glens or mazes or for closing off cave entrances. The Dreadhollow set also brings a box of 38mm stilts. 3 additional stilts are also included in each escarpment pack, which brings the total to 16. They feature magnets on the bottom and small metal plates that are designed to allow terrain tiles and other terrain trays to be elevated to the precise height for maximum compatibility. Finally, the Adventure Pack includes the 2 most potentially interesting pieces, at least from a story narrative perspective: the Apex Primordial, a huge towering elemental monster made up of boulders, rocks, and vines and roots. The second piece is a 6x6 terrain tile Spirit Tree, a hollow massive trunk that belonged to a giant felled tree, perfect for hiding a miniature monster or providing a spiritual game objective. In fact, also included in the pack is a puck of blue spirit fire with color-changing LED lights inside designed to nestle perfectly within the giant trunk. An included remote control allows for different effects and colors. There are a few other pieces as well: a second smaller 2-piece felled tree trunk designed to be a scatter piece, and 2 fairy rings of iridescent mushroom. Speaking of iridescent, there are a bunch of tiny Easter egg details littered throughout the tiles, including tree frogs and centipedes and scarab beetles, which are particularly meaningful to me. One of the criticisms I've heard levied against this particular set of tiles is that alternate builds can be difficult to make feel as good as the default configuration, but I don't find that at all. In fact, when you add in a few pieces of other sets, you can really start to create some fantastic and original encounters and scenes that really make the terrain shine. As I mentioned, I'm a big fan of these terrain tiles, and to anyone sitting at an RPG session who's never seen these in person, there's a definite awe factor that's pretty great to behold. This, however, comes at a cost. For one thing, despite the awesome modularity, Dwarven Forge pieces take up a significant amount of space even when broken down, and secondly, and maybe more importantly, they do not come cheap, with the larger sets ranging into thousands of US dollars. Additionally, availability can be scarce as production runs are usually kept small. a smaller market. Dwarven Forge do, however, make the effort to restock as often as possible, but that can sometimes be months in between. Dreadhollow, although sold out for quite a while after it initially launched, is now restocked. However, their pieces have undergone a bit of a visual overhaul in the paint application. Meant to increase the compatibility with the new upcoming Wildlands pieces released during the most recent Kickstarter campaign, the paint application sacrificed some complexity and variety in tones in exchange for increased quality control, consistency, and reliability, and diminished production times. Some folks were a bit taken aback by the shift in paint applications, claiming that the new pieces didn't match the older scheme, but as you can see here, the new sets are quite compatible with the older paint scheme, the one shown in the majority of this video. The full Dreadhollow Encounter set in the new paint scheme is still available on dwarvenforge.com. However, it will run you a steep $1,050, and I mean, these are definitely luxury accessories, no doubt. Still, if you want a more modest investment, the individual pieces that comprise the full encounter are also available in smaller, more affordable packs. Speaking of the new sets and the Kickstarter, the new sculpts they've shown are amazing, and the ideas and pieces keep getting bigger and bolder with more special effects and set pieces. Well, this was obviously a little bit different for this channel. Let me know if you enjoyed this kind of content in the comments below, as I'll be peppering in some more diverse content in the weeks to follow. Thank you so much for watching. I've been the Gentleman Wake. See you again next time.